A child is a delicate flower, an uncut diamond. Every child is special in his or her own way. But sometimes, you probably must have been surprised on how different your child seems, haven't you? Can you always control your child to be the person you want him or her to be? Should you or shouldn't you? A very good morning to all of you and welcome to another session in Town Talk. I am Maria Vijayasiri and I will be moderating the session today. To the latter part, my co-moderator Yasasmi Gamage will join in. Now, to answer all of these questions, you have to first understand what your child's personality is. And for that, I would like to introduce you to a wonderful personality. She is Mrs. Anuradha Gunasekera, a volunteer counselor and a volunteer special needs educator. Welcome, Anuradha.
Hello, Malia. Good morning, and thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure.
So, to start off, can you explain how to understand a child's personality and how important it is?
Yes, Malia. So, becoming a parent is a challenging commitment because it's a lifelong commitment you have to a human being, to another human being. So, how can we understand its personality? How another human being understand another human being? That's why I'm saying, and that's why I'm saying it's a very challenging commitment. As parents, we have to see what kind of characteristics our children have. They start to show these kind of changes, their personality from their birth. We, as parents, we have to understand how they sleep, how they eat, how they run, how they play, and also we need to understand what they like to do and what they don't like to do. If we have to groom them to be responsible citizens in this country, we have to groom them. How? By understanding their personality, and we have to cater towards those personalities. Well, when I take personality, I would like to say that there are different kind of personalities. So there are things called temperaments. These are temperaments are group of traits. These these they get the children get it from the birth. So these temperaments make each and every child unique, special, and different. So there are different kind of children. I would like to say like high intensity children, low intensity children. So when we take high intensity children, they're really comfortable when showing their emotions, their feelings. If they're sad, they would throw things out. They will cry out loud. They would make a real big noise. But when it comes to low intensity child, I think he or she would keep most of his feelings, her feelings, to herself or to himself. Maybe there may be a slight facial change or might cry a bit. But what do we do? Can parents understand what kind of a child we have or they have? So if there is a high intensity child or children, what do our adults, parents would do? We would label the child, right? Don't you agree with me, Malia?
True,
We
I do.
Yes, we say, oh my God, look at that child. He or she is so naughty. This child can't sit in one place. Not only the parents, the relations, the grandparents, anyone would label the child. And if you take a low intensity child, that child might be shy, might not be comfortable to go in front of strangers and talk. What would we say? Oh my God, look at this child. She's so shy. She's not straightforward. Us parents are really good at labeling a child. us adults are really good at labeling anyone, not only children, even adults, anyone. So I think we have to understand what personality a child has if we have to groom them to be better citizens.
True. So now that you mentioned about labeling, how does that affect the child's personality?
Yes, Maria. I like to bring up some examples where I would like to show how labeling affected many children in this society. These are just few examples. Well, I got this little girl who was around 14. Her mother got a baby brother. So when her mother was in the hospital, she was left with her grandmother. What happened there? She was only 8 years old at that time. His grandmother went and said, "Oh, see, your mother is really happy to get a baby brother. I have never seen her happy this much, even when you were born. Gone. It's gone." The child's personality. What happened to that child? She was a very, I would say, she was very active. She was very active. She used to talk a lot. She used to sing. She used to dance. Suddenly, it just all stopped. The bond she had with her mother, the bond she was about to create with her brother, it was destroyed by this small word. When I told her to draw her family, she drew herself aside. Her father was in the middle because she was a bit close to her father. But the mother, grandmother, and the brother was drawn a bit far. Why? Because she's not attached. She feels she's very sad inside her that her mother does not love her. Imagine what happened to her. Imagine, imagine if any one of us had to go through this. And also, I also there's another example where I got a boy who was around 17 years old. What her mother came and said was, this child acts like a girl. Okay, fine, it's okay. That's everyone is not the same. We have different. There are different kind of people. It's okay. But when I spoke to this child, this little boy, what he said was that when he was small, his father continuously said that he cries like a girl. So this affected this child. This small word, because we never think how a small word would affect a child. Just be careful when you are using any word. We have to think twice because these are small human beings. They need to be loved. They need to be taken care of. So I'm sure all of us who are listening today would have been labeled at some point in our childhood. I'm sure Malia would have. I had.
I was.
I'm sure.
Yes.
So this affects the child. I'm talking about these human beings because they are going to be adults. Occur, end of the day. These adults would do the same thing to their children. So I think labeling affects a child's personality very much, Malia.
Actually, yes, I can relate to that as being labeled as a shy child. So now, what happens in the end to these children who are affected by labeling? Like,
By labeling. Yes. Well, why? Why do parents label your child? Because they think if you label your child, I would say putting your child down. That's the term I would like to use. You put your child down. Why? Because they think by doing that, you will make your child better or improve. I don't think that really works. You're just bringing that child's passion, that child's goals. You're just affecting those, the dreams, affecting those. Where I don't see any grooming or any. You are not showing any path for this child. If this child is shy, you have to say. If this child is going to meet a stranger, you have to say, see this stranger. It's okay. You can be shy. I know you're shy. It's okay. That's fine. But try to communicate a bit. Imagine how motivated that child would be. Just really small, just small words will affect a child very much, be it a positive or a negative word. Because what our parents try to do is they try to put this child into a framework Why do we have to put our children to a framework? Why? We are telling this elephant to fly. Why are we telling an elephant to fly? Because there are plenty of birds to fly. So why are we telling an elephant to fly? Let your elephant do what the elephant is good at. We try to compare these children. Look at, we try to compare with our neighbors, relations, cousins, friends. The best thing what our parents love to do is, look at this child, how good this child is, how straightforward this child is, how, what, look at her grades. But are you really concentrating on your child, the passion your child has, the goal, the ambitions that what your child has? No. If you want your child to be in that other child's framework, then I think you love that child more than your child. I think you want your child to be someone else. Why? Love your child. This is your child. This is your gift. This is your challenging commitment. You have to show the right path and let them select that path. Let them free. Let them be free. Let them explore their environment. Let them love the nature. Let them love the society. Don't make them hate their society. Don't make them hate their friends. Don't make them hate their cousins. Teach them to love. Teach them discipline. Teach them what values, ethics. We have to teach these as parents. We have to show them the path, the right path. So I have to say that it really affects. This labeling really affects a child's personality. It will change this child into someone whom this child is not. Because this child will always try to please your parents, please his or her parents by being someone whom he is she not. So also I want to take another example where there was this child. She wanted to go to his grandparents' house. She actually she went there. She went, and when she entered her grandmother's house, room, there was chocolates. And children, they love chocolates. This child took this chocolate. What did this grandmother say? Oh, no, 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 no. This is for my favorite grandson. So is that a word to say? Favorite? I don't think we need any favorite. What do we need to have favorites? Every child is yours. Every grandchild is yours. Please don't have it. Just giving one, and you can. The grandmother said, okay, you can have one, but share with your cousins. So these are the issues that creates a child to deviate from their unique personality.
Exactly. Now, the even comparisons does affect, and comparisons happen even at school. And
Yes.
now a child spends around 13 years of his or her life at school. So, do you think schools have a responsibility in the child's personality development?
Definitely, definitely. But before I answer that question, I would like to ask: are the teachers aware of each challenge, of each what I would like to say, talents, passion, goals of her or her, of his or her class students? Are they aware? Was your teachers aware of your talents, Namalia? Did
No,
they know that you were able to do?
no,
But
they weren't.
or what were your passion was? What did you want to achieve? I'm sure no one is aware of it. Well, it's true. Our curriculum is so much to actually talk to their students. I think this is where we need to improve. Our teachers need to improve. Because also another thing I see is that in schools, it's this selected crowd that always gets selected for all these teams or all these concerts or to take part in different kind of items. It's this selected group. But so what happened to the children who are left out? Are the teachers aware of their talents? Are the teachers aware of what they want to do in life, what will happen? We have to think about them because they are also going to be responsible citizens in the future. If their goals, if their passion is not meant or not met, what will happen to them? Are we going to demotivate them? Teachers, I think, but this is what I personally feel is that we need to have team A, B, C, D, where any child can go and join these teams according to their talents. The teachers can assign them to each team, and they can perform. And I have a strong feeling this child in the D team can go up to team A. There is a very big possibility. We need to implement these things. It's not always about grades because we see there's a massive rat race. From grade one, there's a massive rat race. Our teachers, they really don't listen to these children. And also, I feel like we need to have counselors in schools. Counseling is an essential because we can't say that because some teachers say we didn't have these things in our school when we were small. We were okay. We had family issues. Okay, but it's okay. We somehow came up in life. But that was your time. Who said that was your time? And that is you. You can't compare yourself with another child. Each human being is different from each other. How they take, how they feel emotions, how they feel the feelings, how they feel sadness, anger is very different. So stop comparing and stop saying we were okay. So why you're not okay? I think we need people to listen to our younger generation. But what happens in school? If they recommend you need to have a counselor, they will take a teacher who has less amount of sessions and put her as a counselor. She is not ready to listen. She doesn't have empathy towards the child or love or care. What would she do? She would listen the whole story. She would listen to the whole story and would go and say, "Would just go," and it will be the hot topic for the day among the teachers. Because there was a student. She came to me and she said, "Miss, I went and I opened up with my school counselor, and she went and told every single teacher. And these teachers went and told story to every class. All her friends knew about this. Everyone knew about this. So she couldn't go to school end of the day. She trusted this person. She thought this person would love her, would guide her. But what happened? So there were many cases. There were many suicide cases in schools where these children they didn't have anyone to talk. And also there was another issue, another situation where this girl had an affair with a boy who worked in school. What happened? Every day this child was called out in the school. She was taken to a corner, and every day these teachers used to question her, is this the way? Why are you drilling a child? Sure, she would have done a mistake. That's true. But is this the way? We have to love them. We have to care for them. And also, there was another situation where his father was caught for a crime, and all are perfect adults, I would say. Said they all said, set this child out from the school. Is that right to do? Is that right to do? The school is a place where you groom the child. But I'm so happy that the school stood with the child, loved the child, and cared for the child. So I'm really proud because of that. But I think our adults, we think we are perfect, and we think our children should be perfect. No, I think teachers, please listen to your child. Please listen to your children. See what they are passionate about. See their goals. Let them explore the world. Answer because nowadays children they get many information. There are situations where these children they can't go and ask questions from parents. Once parents are really busy. And other thing is parents are really judgmental. Nowadays, parents, oh my God, if you talk about sex or porn, my God, that's the end of the world for them. So teachers, and also I want to say, when it comes for health period, they would not even talk about sexual education. They would just skip that topic. I'm sure it would have been same for you, Amalia. I'm sure you
Yes.
get that it was not covered. So by it's okay. Let the teacher talk about porn. Let the teacher talk about sex. Because you have to guide them. These are natural things. These are not these things that you should close and keep. No, let the child understand. Explain it to. There are many videos on YouTube in a nicer way. Teach them about childbirth. This is where we have to, because then the child will not go in the wrong path, will not seek advices from the wrong people. So main thing is you have to listen to your child. Listen. Counselors, I think it's very important to have a counselor, because even in school, like the suicide cases or attempt to, it's at high rise. Why? Because there's no one to understand the child, to listen to the child. We have to listen to our children. If we don't listen to our children, they will be lost. They won't have anyone. They would feel that they don't have anyone because the pressure they get from home, telling them to achieve things, and the pressure they get from school if you don't achieve the proper grades. So I think school plays a big role in the personality of a child.
Yes, I do agree. Schools are mostly on a rat race, and schools actually focus a lot on exams, and this is like more individual based. So, do you think a child should be it's good for a child to work in groups or more individually because we
So
have less group work at school?
definitely group work is a must. Sharing, caring. We say sharing is the most important thing. The child needs to share. A child needs to care about his teammates. Winning, losing, we have to teach. Nowadays, adults can't lose. If the adults lose something, they will go and commit suicide. Because recently I saw this person who couldn't pay his debt had committed suicide. It's why, because they couldn't cope up that stress. So when you work with groups, you know what is winning, what is losing. That when you work as a team, that you won't be selfish. There's so much selfish people in the society now. Why? I like if you go to a supermarket and with this 1 meter distance, how many of people would have jumped in the middle of the queue? I'm sure, because I faced it many times. 1 meter, there was no 1 meter. There were around 3 or 4 people in the middle. Where is that discipline? People are selfish. They can't stand in queues. They can't stay for their turn. Because nowadays, if you take school notes, how many of them are willing to give their notes to her or his friends or colleagues? Who's sharing? Because there are some students, they even say, we don't study, we just play around. But the truth is, they go home, they study. Why are you lying? Sometimes it's the parents. It's the parents who say, don't give these to your friends. You have to get better scores, so don't give this. Or don't say your scores, or don't even show what you're writing. So those days, I think some like students, like they used to copy. I'm not saying it's wrong, it's right. I'm not saying that it's right, but I think there was something like attached reference. But now everyone is closing and writing it down. Yeah, they're closing it and writing it. So I think I don't see sharing in kids. They show off now. They show off their things. They show off their toys, the things they have. It's not only among friends, not only in school, even among family, cousins, neighbors. These kids, they love to show off. I think it's actually because there's lack of group work. Because people, now it's so great oriented, exam oriented way, method that people have got really selfish. It's all about scoring well, going to the university, getting a job. That's it for them. There's nothing, no values in this society. They don't know humanity. Even if you go and give on charity, you take photographs. I don't think, I mean, it's, in a way it's good, but in a way it's bad. So there are pros and cons. But, and also I would like to say, like, some kids are treated as superior. Like, parents say, oh, I'm giving you the best thing than this one. I'm giving you the best thing than that one. Well, you're making like, you're making a child selfish. That is where the selfishness comes from. And when there is also, I want to say that when there is like, when a child is taught to do work alone, you're creating a person with competitive narcissist personality, where that person will be selfish, that person will be selfish throughout his life. Do you want your child to be like that? Where is this going to end? So this is what I have to say. You have to think about your child. And group assignments are essential. Not only group, not only in school, even with neighbors. Let your child go out and play with this kids on the road. Let them play cricket. Let them play anything that they want. Let them all collect money and get one ball, a bat, where they can share. Let them experience that. Let the children go get together and go for tuition classes. Let them go. Let them explore the environment. Let them see how many trees they're passing by. They need to learn about the society.
True, I do agree. And nowadays, it seems that most children are not interested in extracurricular activities. How important do you think extracurricular activities affect the child's personality?
Extracurricular activities. I would like to say sports plays a big role. Again, I want to say is winning and losing. Tre- Teaching your children winning and losing is very important because you have to teach your children that you can't always win and you will not always lose. But if there's teamwork, you can win. But if you work only for your goals, you will always lose. We have to teach this. And sometimes we say kids they don't have time to do extracurricular activities. Why? Because our parents have put them. They have to go for I think 3 or 4 tuition classes after school. So will they have time to do any other extracurricular activities? Because I know this child. He went for 4 math classes. His grade for his grade 5 scholarship. 4 math classes. Absurd. And did he pass? No, he didn't. That's the funny part. He didn't pass. I mean, it's okay. It's just a small child. It's okay. You can't expect a child to be that. I mean, now like the competition, it's not actually. I think grade 5 scholarship is not a child's exam. I think it's a mother's. It's a parent's. It's something where you can go and show off. It's all about parents. Parents they want to show off their child. Why do you want to show off your child? Is it a product to show off? It's just a human being. Teach them to be humans. Teach them to love everyone. So you have to have extracurricular activities, sports, be it dancing, music, anything. Because you have to create a child with balance. Education, sports, music, art, dancing. You have to create a child with a balanced personality.
True, I do agree. And now that we know how to understand a child's personality, how should the parents react to help develop their child?
Yes, Malia. Parents, they play a big role in child's life. Children rely on parents. The whole world is parents. Mother and father is the main. I think communication plays a big role. And parents, I would like to say, show some affection. Show that how you love your father. Father, show how you love your mother. You can, I'm sure mother and father can hold hands in front of their children. Just hug them. It's okay. Show what his love is. Because we have this thing, we have this attitude. Oh, I'm the father. I'm the head of the family. I should not behave like this. I should have my position. Why are you the king? No, you're the father in the family. Just because you're the male role, that doesn't mean you're the king in the family. Show affection. Show how it works. Mother and father be together. You can have a group hug. You can hug the mother. You can have all together hug the children. Have a group hug. That will create bond. Also, I would like to say, listen to your children. Listen. Always listen. You don't have to be a qualified counselor or psychologist right now to listen to your children. Listen. Don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. Be empathic. Show empathy to them. Show love to them. Show that you're always there. You're there to protect them. You're always there to protect them. Don't 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 ever compare your child with anyone, even if you're siblings, because our parents are so good at comparing, even with siblings. Well, see, your sister is seeing this kind of dress. Why can't you get? This child is not sister. This child is a different human being. I'm sure, Malia, you would have been faced the same situation. I have faced the same situation. This is, I think, everyone. This is like a common topic for everyone. Each one of us have faced this kind of situation at any stage in our life. Don't compare your child. Comparison will never lead anywhere. And also, don't go and give advice when a child is angry, frustrated, or sad. Because this don't thing never goes to the head. They will definitely do the opposite. Children are very inquisitive. They want to know about it. You have to hold their hand and show the path. How can we show the path? You have to listen. Open your ears and listen to them. Let them talk. Let them vent. Let them vent their frustration, stress. Because there's so much of stress in the society. So much of issues these children face day to day life. We can't say this, we didn't have this kind of issue. Yeah, sure. This is you. That's you. It's okay. I would say, don't compare your childhood, how you were, with another person. Don't ever do that. Because I have heard many conversations. People would go and say, oh my God, look what this child did. See, I was brought up like this. I never did this stuff. I never had all these things. But I didn't do all these things. Don't compare. How do you know? Have you lived? This child's life is different. You have to listen. Please listen to your children. Let them feel. Let them feel their space. Let them explore the world. Let them explore the environment. Let them associate whom they want. But have an eye. It's okay. What they are doing. You have parents. You have to have an eye on them. But give them the freedom. If we don't, it will affect the child's personality. It will lead into many issues when they grow up. You would not realize. But at the adult age, all these things will come up. So our goal is to building a socially responsible adult in the future. So we have to groom them according to that. So only thing that I tell my parents, anyone, adults, teachers, anyone who's dealing with children, listen to them. Let them trust you. Let them feel that there's someone who's ready to listen to you. Always. Make them feel that they are loved. No, it will take some time, but you have to gradually build. Because the children comes to me, they to me at the first session. It takes some time. What I do is I do what they like. I do what they like. I watch videos with them. I download the games that they like to play. I always do that. I download the games that they like to play and I play with them. I listen to the music that they like, watch the cartoon that they like, where it builds the trust. Sometimes these games are like shooting, killing each other. Sometimes not a true case. But to build that trust, you have to do that. And later on, you can tell the child, see, it's not good for you. But you can select another game. Select another game. Not to stop. What does our parents do? They will take the phone, hide the phone, keep the child in the room. That's it. The child can't go and associate with anyone. You have to stay at home. They will punish the child. Do you think the child would be good? Would change? No. They will create a grudge. They will be more violent. And if you go discriminating or comparing children, that will also affect. So parents, you have to be mindful and you have to open your ears and listen to your child without being judgmental, but only loving them and caring for them.
True, I actually do relate to that being compared as a child. And thank you very much, Anuradha, for your valuable insight and advice. So to proceed with the Q&A session, I would like to hand over the control to Yasasmi Gamage. Yasasmi?
All right, thank you very much, Malya. Indeed, that was a really interesting conversation. We all have to listen to our children. So, with that, we have opened up now the Q&A session for our audience. So, if you have any questions popping up in your mind, please don't feel hesitate to drop a comment to us. With that, I have like one small question for you. Now, you said like the child should be free and children needs to engage with each other. Now, the biggest problem we have is during this pandemic time, we will not be able to go outside. Both parents and children, everyone is stuck inside our houses. Now, as a parent in this particular situation at this time, how are we supposed to understand our child's personality? What are your thoughts on that, ma'am?
Yes, Asmi, very true. Well, as a mother, I'm going through the same thing. So I'm sure all these parents are going through the same situations. Children are frustrated. They're stressed out. They can't meet their friends. They can't do what they like or what they love to do. And even for the parents are stuck inside homes and they have to work from home. They have to do housework, many things going around. But why can't we make it fun? We can make it fun because I have seen my son is being frustrated for not being able to communicate with his friends during online school. And suddenly, my son, when he's playing, suddenly he comes to me and says, "Amma, I want to go and show this car to my auntie. I want to play cars with my auntie. I want to do this with my auntie, that with my auntie. I want to play." And even my little one is like that. She goes, "Aunt, Ammi, I want to go and meet my auntie. I want to sing songs with her." So I can feel what they are missing. They're still in the Montessori, so they're missing a lot. And so, parents, you can do things that is very fun. But I would like to show you something. This is called exercise by Dr. Dennison. Now, fist your hands like this. Yeah. And thumb, put your thumb, one thumb. And from the other hand, it's the small index. And it's, yeah. So why can't you? So this, do it as a with your family. Actually, it's the for your left and the right brain as well. So while you are doing this, it will give a good exercise for your brain as well. It will entertain your family. Yeah, it will definitely entertain your family. And also try to have at least one meal together where you can discuss your things. Let them be open. As I said before, don't be judgmental. Let them do what they let them talk, let them put themselves out. Let them talk anything, share anything, even boyfriends or their crushes or issues in school, about teachers, about even about the cousins, relations, neighbors. Let them talk and see what they are going through. And also another thing that you can do is play board games. It's really good. It's really good to play board games. And also let them explore. Get them water, get them soil, get them anything, all these flowers, let them do any activity, let them wander, let them imagine things. Help them to imagine things. Let them do role plays. These things you can do during this time. You have actually we can create a strong bond between the families.
All right, yes, indeed. I'm sure that exercise will both help both the children as well as the parents to concentrate and keep focus as well. So, we have another question popping up. Now, how do we develop empathy in small children, like especially from age 3 to 5? We see like children are kind of arrogant and they want it. If they want something, they really, really want it. So, how do we develop empathy
Yes,
in children?
yes. First thing I feel is let the child put the frustration out. Allow the child to put it out. Because if you tell the child to hold the feelings, it's not good for the child. Let's put it out. Let them put it out. That's what I do with my kids. I don't really bother about them screaming and putting their tantrums. I just let them do it. And then later on, I because even my children are is in that age. And then I try to talk. I show them videos because now I can't go out. But I show them videos. See, these children, they don't have these things. They don't have these good. They don't have toys. See what these children are going through. Because recently, I would like to share my experience. There was a song. Actually, it was a movie song where the small child didn't have hands. I'm sure many of us would have watched that video. Didn't have hands. This little child. My son was watching it and he felt really sad for that child. He was really scared. He was like asking, Mommy, why what happened to that girl's hands? I said, there are children like that. See how fortunate you are. You have to study. You have to help them. You have to come up with new things that they also can join into our society and work with us as normal humans. We have to come up with ideas where at least we can develop newer apps or something to help. So it actually what I felt was that video actually affected him. That so by showing videos and also like we can show loving animals. We because as parents have to show them because they learn by watching us. Just because we tell them to do it, they will never do. If you see an ant on the water, take it out. The child would see it, and child would do the same thing. And if we kill an animal and say, don't kill animals. If we kill the animal, if we kill the ant and say, don't kill the animals, is that best advice we are giving? Show them. It's always showing them. It's and also like when you're going on the road, because I would like to share this example where this boy was was actually putting down this old man who was pushing this cart or a vehicle. And I said, is that right? Is that right? Because I was questioning myself, why did he say like that? Why is that right to say something? How can I? How can the parents, if the parents did see this coming, how can they change? So you have to think. You have to be innovative, teaching them empathy. You have to have. You have to be a human. You have to show them what this world is. What are the opportunities that you have, and what are the opportunities that they don't have? If the opportunities were divided, they would not be in that place. If you take a special needs child, a child with much more opportunities would have much better treatment, will go to a better special needs education center. But a child who does not have the same opportunity would be kicked out of the house and would be labeled as a dumb or some, they would label, and that child, where would he end? So I think we have to show our generation, our younger generation, what it is a society, and what we can do, and what you can do in the future.
All right, indeed, as you mentioned, the parents and their actions are really a huge matter for their kids to look and grow. So, with that, once again, coming back to this pandemic situation, now the education system, as we said, a rat race, and now everything is online, right? So now, does this online system really affects a child personality? What do you think? Is it a good way to make the kids engage in this online system, or will it impact in a bad situation? What are your
Well,
thoughts on
well, trust me, I think we don't have any other option. We
it?
don't have
Yeah.
any other option. So we have to stick to this. But I, as a mother, as I said before, seeing my children, how frustrated they are, I feel they miss school. Not the school work, I think it's the friends, a time. I'm sure they miss that. They miss their aunties a lot. Because I think they treat auntie as their second mother. They're very close. Share a close bond with them. So, and also I would like to bring another example where this A-level student, she's very frustrated because she thinks she would not be able to wear her uniform again because this is the last year in school. So imagine what kind, I'm sure most of the students are like that. They miss their friends. We were we are more, we are used to being with our friends. We are used to being with our neighbors. As humans, we had this close bond with each other. But now we are stuck at home. So I think this definitely would impact our generation. But I don't know how it would impact. But there is an impact. So what we have to do is hopefully thinking these things would ease off quickly. But I don't. I think we will have a generation where they would lack something, and this would lead. One day it would lead for, they would regret. Like, I missed this chance. I missed going to school. I missed. I'm sure I feel my child missed Montessori because this is his last year in Montessori. So I feel that where they the fun, the Aurudutsav, the start, everything that they had, I'm sure he would miss it.
Yes, indeed. Those little frustrations matter a lot, I'm sure, especially for kids. All right, with that, we'll go to the one last final question. So, as parents, like, what is your final message to all the parents out there in terms of understanding their children?
As I said before, parents, please listen to your kids. Don't be judgmental. Listen with care, love, and guide them. Show them the paths. Show them paths where they can. If we say, if they don't want to do A levels, okay, this is your path A, this is your path B. Show them the path. Let them select. Don't ever force. Don't ever force your child to do anything that he or she is not comfortable. So please, parents, my only message is Listen to your children. Open your eyes. Not only parents, teachers, adults, everyone who are dealing with kids. Please listen to them and allow them to fly. Allow them to explore their space.
All right, indeed. We have to listen to them. It is really important for us to know and understand who they are. So, today we discussed about children and their personalities. We start off by understanding different children with different personalities and how it is really important for all the parents to understand them. And also, we discussed about labeling children and how this labeling really affects a child's personality. And after that, we talked about the children, are the bad implications that will happen with these type of children who are affected from such situations, and the responsibility of the school in terms of developing a child's personality. And also, we understood as a parent what are the things that we should really do in this situation during this pandemic today. So, thank you very much, Mrs. Anuradha, for joining us, spending your valuable time to share your thoughts, your insights about this particular topic.
Thank you, Malia. Thank you, Yasasmi. And thank you, Nehansa, for inviting me. And have a great day and be safe.
Okay, yes, because children are precious and children are going to be the beautiful future of this country. So it is really important to listen to your child, understand them, and hold their hand and make them go the path they want to be. So we are signing out today from Town Talks. And thank you very much once again, Mrs. Anuradha. And thank you very much for the audience who sent us comments. And I hope we covered all your questions. So be responsible citizens. Look after your child because you're at home. This is the best time to look at your children. So stay safe as well as please stay inside your home. With that, thank you very much, everyone.